الآن.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Misad Bulletin, and we shall start with our headlines. At least 50 killed as gunman opens fire at Las Vegas concert. 3 Americans win Nobel Medicine Prize for bodyism work. And moving on to our details, starting with Baghdad. Islamic State militants set fire to 3 oil wells near Hawaija, west of the oil city of Kirkuk, one of 2 areas of Iraq still under their control. Military officials said Iraqi security forces were using bulldozers to control the fires started by the militants in the early hours of Saturday to slow the advance of US-backed Iraqi forces and Shiite militia groups towards Hawaija town. Officials also said the fire had been brought under control at one of the wells while the other 2 were still burning. They said it would take about 3 days to put out the fires. On another front, Iraq on Monday authorized foreigners stranded in Iraqi Kurdistan after an international flight ban to leave the country via Baghdad, despite not having a federal visa. Iraqi Interior Minister said any person can leave the country via Baghdad without paying a fine or for an exit visa. Foreigners who had entered the Northern Autonomous Region on regional visas not recognized by Baghdad could previously not travel to other parts of Iraq. This comes as Baghdad ordered the suspension of international flights to and from Iraqi Kurdistan from Friday in retaliation for the Kurds voting for independence earlier last week. On to Syria. Syrian state media says a suicide car bomber has struck a police station in the capital, Damascus. Al-Ikhbariyya TV station said the bomber detonated his vehicle in front of a police station in the capital's Al-Mida neighborhood. It added that 2 attackers blew themselves up in the same place, with one managing to enter the station. The station also said that several people were killed or wounded. Meanwhile, Iran's foreign minister traveled to Oman for a day-long visit on Monday with officials in the Sultanate. Mohammad Javad Zarif was met by Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, the minister responsible for foreign affairs, on his arrival in Muscat. Topics of discussion included the wars in Iraq, Syria and Yemen and other issues, according to Iranian media. Zarif also called Oman's relations with Iran exemplary while on his visit. Moreover, Zarif is due to travel to Qatar on Tuesday. On the other side of the world, Catalonia's government was holding a closed-door cabinet meeting on Monday to discuss the next steps in its plan to declare independence from Spain following a disputed referendum marred by violence. Regional officials said the poll, which Spain insists was illegal and invalid, showed 90% favored independence after less than half the electorate voted in a day that saw 893 people injured in clashes with riot police. Meanwhile, Spanish Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy will meet with ruling Popular Party leaders before seeking a parliamentary session to discuss how to confront the country's most serious crisis in decades. Meanwhile, a man with a knife stabbed 2 women to death on Sunday at the main train station in the southern French city of Marseille, an attack the Islamic State group claimed its responsibility for. French soldiers shot fireman to death after the attacks. The French Interior Minister said police have video that shows the man attacking the 2 women. On the other hand, the IS said in a statement on Sunday night that the assailant was acting in response to IS calls to target countries in the US-led coalition fighting IS extremists in Syria and Iraq. And moving on to the United States, a gunman perched high on the 32nd floor of a Las Vegas Strip casino unleashed a shower of bullets down on an outdoor country music festival below, killing at least 50 people and wounding more than 200. Authorities said on Monday country music star Jason Aldean was performing Sunday night at the end of the 3-day Route 91 Harvest Festival when the gunman opened fire across the street from inside the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino. Officials also said SWAT teams quickly descended on the concert and the casino, adding that the gunman died at the scene and was identified as Stephen Paddock. On another front, President Donald Trump said on Sunday that Secretary of State Rex Tillerson was wasting his time trying to negotiate with North Korea over its nuclear and missile programs. This comes after Tillerson had acknowledged on Saturday, after meetings in Beijing with Chinese leaders, that the Trump administration was keeping open direct channels of communications with North Korea and probing the North's willingness to talk. But he provided no elaboration about those channels or the substance of any discussions. And away from politics, the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine was awarded to 3 Americans on Monday for discoveries about the body's daily rhythms. The laureates are Jeffrey C. Hall, Michael Rosbash, and Michael W. Young. Rosbash is on the faculty at Brandeis University, Young at Rockefeller University, and Hall has been associated with the University of Maine. The citation of the 9 million kroner $1.1 million prize says the researchers isolated a gene that controls the normal daily biological rhythm. The Nobel Assembly said the paradigm-shifting discoveries by the laureates established key mechanisms for the biological clock. And finally, economic news. The euro and Spanish stocks fell on Monday as investors tried to gauge what the weekend unrest in Catalonia means for the future of the Spanish state and European unity. The uncertainty over Spain weighed on the euro, which was down 0.7% at $1.1733. Spain's main stock index also fell 1.3%, underperforming its European peers, which were modestly higher. The future of Catalonia is hugely important for Spain, as the region represents a fifth of the national economy. And before ending your news, let's take another look at the most important headlines for today. At least 50 killed as gunman opens fire at Las Vegas concert. 3 Americans win Nobel Medicine Prize for body rhythm work. And this was all what we have in our MISAT bulletin for today. Thank you for joining us and see you tomorrow in a new bulletin.